Darkness has never been proof that light disappeared forever, because even on the longest night, that night still exists, and it exists beside the promise of another sunrise. And, when we go through those dark times, a lot of the time we feel like, oh my God, this is going to last forever. But, like, look at the day and night cycle. Like, things don't always last forever. And so when you're going through those times, yeah, they're going to build you up, they're going to make you stronger. And that darkness, when you face it enough, you become less afraid of it, and you start to become more prepared for hardship. You become more prepared for things to go in ways that you kind of didn't want them to go. But you become stronger because of that, and you are strong. And we often fear the dark seasons of life, and those painful moments are usually where our strength begins to grow. So just know that it's kind of like what I look at a lot of stuff, like when I'm going through things or things are changing, the way I'm holding my phone, my skills. Some of my skills are not like where they used to be and stuff like that. And like a lot of the time I get really scared, but, I know that I could practice and get better at those things and restore those skills and stuff like that. And once those are restored, you kind of realize, oh my God, it was just one, small season of my life, and things become better, and you become stronger. And those things are not going to last forever. And if you think about like a single candle in an entire room that's like completely dark, that candle's going to light up some of that room. And that candle, you can kind of that can kind of resemble hope in your life. And when you have that hope, you become pretty much unstoppable. And hope has carried me through so many times in my life that were just bad times in general. But, I got through those things, and you too will get through what you're going through. The universe itself is filled with darkness, yet the stars that are within that universe are completely lighting it up, and they continue burning across it like reminders that light refuses to surrender. And some of the strongest souls are created in silence. They're created in heartbreak, loneliness, and battles that nobody ever notices. Light becomes meaningful because darkness exists beside it, just as peace becomes precious after surviving chaos. And every person carries, a shadow or shadows within them. And those shadows are kind of proof that there is still light somewhere close enough to cast them, because without light, a shadow couldn't be cast, and those light and darkness will always coexist together, but they're both temporary when it comes to, like, if you think about like the day and night cycle of Earth, so, and you go through the hardest moments in life to teach you lessons, and those lessons are not something that complete comfort all the time would ever fully reveal. Those lessons wouldn't be revealed. So when you're going through the dark time, just realize, like, oh, I'm being taught a lesson. And these lessons pretty much get us through life. I've learned so many lessons from the things that I've gone through. My dad also really taught me a lot, just about life in general, and how to have like impulse control and stuff like that. He did a really good job, but even during storms that are powerful enough to shake your entire world, there are still small moments of beauty trying to survive beside the pain. And, darkness convinces people that they are trapped forever, but that is not the case. One day the sun will rise, and one day when that sun does rise, you'll have a realization and you'll learn a lesson, and, I really urge you to get through those times without giving up. And even when you feel like giving up, or you feel like you are giving up, once you get through it, you'll be like, well, I guess I didn't give up because I survived, So you'll be able to be proud of yourself. And yeah, like just those dark times in general can be really, I mean, I know it can feel like a battle or like a war, but one thing that I try to do a lot is like think about like people that are like overseas or in battle, that actually have to face like death every single day. And it's like, oh my God, we're so much lucky. We're really lucky to not have to go through that, A lot of us just have like little things going on, but it's nothing like, seeing your best friend get blown up overseas. So I try to think about that to, I don't know, just make myself realize that what I'm going through is nowhere near what some people are going through. But every human soul that walks through seasons where the road ahead disappears completely. Like during winter, the road completely disappears under snow. But something deep inside them still pushes them forward anyway, and somehow they stay on the path. And light is not the absence of struggle, but it's the refusal to stop shining while struggle surrounds you. And nature itself survives through cycles of destruction and renewal, just like us. And our bodies and our minds have seasons. And we go through those things and we become better because of it. And even broken people can become sources of warmth, kindness, and hope for others still trapped in their own battles. And darkness may feel infinite while you stand beside it, but infinity has always belonged more to the stars than fear. So don't give way to fear. Be strong. But that's pretty much all I got for this one. I hope you guys are hanging on to hope. I hope you had an amazing weekend. And yeah, I'm going to be continuing to post a bunch through this week. And then we're going to slow way down, probably just do like daily uploads with like 5 or 10 Facebook posts a day. I'm going to be slowing down, but I'm still going to post at least a few times a week. And I'll continue this style of content because I love lifting other people up, and I love giving you guys hope and just like trying to spread some wisdom that I've developed over the years. And I try to keep it as structured as possible, just so it delivers value in a short amount of time. But yeah, I'll see you guys.